Live from the Don and Lorena Meyer studio at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Andrew Swanson.
And I'm Jocelyn Messersmith. The Gender and Sexuality Center faces cuts and an Omaha teacher is facing repercussions after an alarming scandal.
But first, Nebraska's Board of Regents has come to a decision about Memorial Stadium's renovations. That's our top story tonight.
Memorial Stadium is set to undergo renovations as today the Nebraska Board of Regents approved Nebraska's athletics' $600 million plan to transform the home of Husker football. The athletic department has called the plan Big Red Rebuild as they strive to elevate fan experience while positioning Husker athletics to compete and lead at the highest level financially. At today's Board of Regents meetings, members voiced their opinion on the renovations. The Regents voted unanimously, citing safety and structural concerns as reasons for their approval. Though all regents approved the plan, a student regent wanted to table the proposal due to capacity reduction. The renovations will reduce capacity to 80,000 fans, connect the East and West Bowl that will allow fans to move 360 degrees throughout the stadium, add 20,000 new chairback seats to improve comfort, and includes a new 7,000-seat student section located to give the Huskers a competitive advantage. Construction is planned to begin at the end of the 2026 football season, and the rebuild will be completed before the 2028 season. Andrew, Jocelyn?
Thank you, Matthew. Nebraska State Patrol arrested a Millard Middle School teacher on Wednesday for possessing AI-generated images of child pornography. 47-year-old Matthew Lund, who worked at Anderson Middle School, had 423 files which depicted children under 12 years old. NSP received a tip about the uploaded files on February 23rd and was able to trace the associated IP address to Lund. He was booked into the Douglas County Corrections and appeared in court on Thursday, where his bail was set at $1 million. NSP said that it didn't believe any of Lund's students were victims in the case.
UNL announced yesterday that the Gender and Sexuality Center will be shutting down May 22nd. This was announced via email. Associate Director J.D. McCown said in the email that the majority of staff and services will be moved to the Student Culture and Community under the Office of Student Life. Student Culture and Community will take over events and programming that the center previously offered. A few of those events include the Lavender Graduation Celebration, the LGBTQIA+ Welcome Celebration, and guidance for associated recognized student organizations. The resources that are left will be found at the Jackie Gowen Multicultural Center starting this fall.
Finals are coming, but the past week's weather has us ready for summer.
Nebraska Nightly's Owen Snodgrass has more on the upcoming weather into Dead Week. Owen?
Well, it was absolutely beautiful here in Lincoln, 68 degrees right now with little to no wind in the area. Great day to get out and enjoy the sun. In fact, not a single cloud in the sky right now. Those temperatures will drop down to 44 degrees as we go into the overnight hours, with winds increasing to about 10 miles per hour, and then temperatures rising to 70 degrees tomorrow, with the chance of some potential thunderstorms in the area.
Coming up next, we'll hear more from forecaster Owen Snodgrass after the break.
Social media is a daily part of many college students' lives, something we've become used to, but it can also be overwhelming and draining. Studies show that taking regular breaks from social media reduces stress and improves mental health. Too much screen time has been proven to increase anxiety, while stepping away helps you reconnect with the world around you. Take a break. Protect your mental health.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. Again, currently sitting at 68 degrees here in Lincoln. Very nice, great day to get out and enjoy the sun. Relatively the same across the board here in Nebraska. 60s almost across the entire state, except for our friends up here in Chadron. Only 41 degrees. Have some lingering clouds in the area that have really decreased those temperatures as we've gone throughout the day. Looking into the overnight hours, we'll drop down to 44 degrees as mentioned, and those winds will only slightly pick up to 10 miles per hour. Before going into tomorrow, where we will see the temperatures jump into the 70s, but bringing about the chance of some thunderstorms into the area, winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour. Looking at the 7-day forecast here, you can see Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, chance of thunderstorms all those days, Sunday being a big day to keep an eye on. We will clear up as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, and then again, chance of some showers and cloudy weather enters the area on Friday. Take a look at our SBC outlook here. Lincoln sitting in at a 2 out of 5 for our day on Sunday. Like I mentioned, we've got some thunderstorms in the area, and those will bring about some hail, winds, and possibly a tornado, though that risk is much lower. Look here, this is the probability. Lincoln's seeing a 15 to 30% chance of a storm being within the area, and a 1 out of 3 risk for the intensity. This means we could, around the verge of the intensity, this means we could see some large hail or stronger winds than a regular thunderstorm. Looking at those rain chances, we do see a spike here on Sunday. We're expecting those thunderstorms for sure. And then lingering showers as we head into the day on Monday, 55% chance of precip. Going into the rest of the work week, those chances drop back down and maybe rise there on Thursday, where we could again see some rain enter the area. And now we've needed the rain, except it's all been falling down here in southeast Nebraska. Lancaster still in a drought, just only slightly a 1 or 2 level of drought, but looking across central and western Nebraska, still got some drought within the area. We've had a very warm start to the year, and we may be seeing some warm weather persisting as we go on throughout the year. This could worsen the drought area, especially if we don't get some rain in this region. That's all for the weather right now. Back to you, Jocelyn and Andrew.
Thank you, Owen. March brought a brutal heat wave across much of the country, but it wasn't just about triple-digit temperatures. It was a rare and powerful phenomenon known as a heat dome, marking the hottest marked temperatures on record for the U.S. Maribel Gonzalez spoke with climate experts to break down what caused it and why understanding it is crucial for the human health in future.
Typical April 1st, we expect about 5 feet of depth, so we would be standing this high off the ground.
But instead, this year's California Sierra Nevada snowpack marked record lows, impacted in part by record hot temperatures in March. And many other parts of the West also felt the triple-digit temperatures brought on by an unprecedented heat wave known as a heat dome.
It was a high-pressure system that sat over the area and increased the temperatures.
Claire Barnes is a researcher based in London, studying the impact of climate change on extreme weather.
What we're seeing now that is more unusual is the temperatures that those heat waves are able to reach. And they are reaching higher temperatures.
And while many factors can contribute to a specific heat dome,
what exactly caused this particular heat wave to sit for so long over such a large area and to become so intense, that's going to take some research to understand.
Experts say human-caused climate change are making them more intense.
Greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, due to the burning of fossil fuel, act as a blanket that traps heat in the atmosphere near the ground. And this is something that's been known for about 200 years. The climate system is interconnected. So if it gets warm over the globe, it means also that more ice is melting. The polar ice caps are melting, and that means very gradually that sea level is rising.
Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are set to fly to Pakistan on Saturday for peace talks with Iran. Administration sources say the president wants them to meet with the Iranian foreign minister. The officials say some of the Vice President J.D. Vance's staff members are involved, but the VP himself is on standby. That's because his perceived Iranian counterpart is not involved at this stage. Carolyn Levitt says the president has an optimistic outlook on the negotiations.
Iranians want to talk. They want to talk in person, and so the president is, as I've said many times to all of you, always willing to give diplomacy a chance. So Steve and Jared will be heading to Pakistan tomorrow to hear the Iranians out. We hope progress will be made, and we hope that positive developments will come from this meeting.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reveals in a statement on social media that doctors discovered a malignant tumor on his prostate of less than a centimeter. He quietly underwent treatment, and after making the decision to undergo targeted radiation therapy, he says the spot disappeared completely. He says he delayed the release of his annual medical report by 2 months so that it wouldn't be used as propaganda by Iran.
Coming up next,
UNL students give back to the community through pickleball.
and a look at ASUN's recent Earthstock block party.
Stick with us.
משום שמאז מלחמת התקומה
Of the 40 million tons of plastic waste generated in the U.S. in 2021, only 5%, or 2 million tons, was recycled. Make sure you do your part in keeping Anderson Hall clean. For more information on recycling statistics, visit epa.gov today.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. The Freshman Campus Leadership Association and Association of Students of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln hosted its annual philanthropy event on Wednesday. FCLA members chose Pickle for a Purpose, a pickleball tournament that combined costumes and pickleballing to gather proceeds for the Husker Food Pantry.
It's local, it helps deliver food to people in need, and FCLA, we volunteered at it a couple times, so we felt already we had that connection, and we thought it was a good spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Groundwork for the event during the first semester and partnered with FCLA directors to put their ideas into action. They chose to put a spin on traditional pickleball with costumes because many members have different ideas for the philanthropy event. Pickle for a Purpose was a way of combining those ideas while still supporting a good cause. During the event, approximately 25 teams entered for a total of $250 collected.
Spring is here, and so is one of UNL's favorite April traditions. ASUN is back with Earthstock 2026, bringing a series of campus events that honor the planet and encourage students to practice sustainability.
Just like celebrating the earth that we all share and enjoy together, I think it's important to remind ourselves about the environment that we have and appreciate it.
Huskers gathered at the Student Union this Wednesday for the Earthstock Block Party. The free midday event featured a farmers and maker market, a clothing swap, a plants giveaway, and an art upcycle activity where students created pieces using recycled campus materials. And tonight, the celebration continues. Huskers can head back to the Union for the Earstock Music Festival from 7 to 9 p.m. The free outdoor event features live performances from Gents and the Red Keys, plus food from Rutabaga's Comfort Food. UNL students should have their end card ready. For more information on Earthstock, visit asun.unl.edu/Earthstock.
Rock climbing in Nebraska may seem out of the ordinary, but the UNL Outdoor Adventure Center is one of Lincoln's most commonly used rock climbing facilities.
Nebraska Nightly's Braden Selk reports the center hosts frequent events and welcomes new climbers every day.
The Adventure Center hosts weekly events to encourage students across campus to climb. Rock climbing can be both physical exercise and fun. Students across campus use the UNL Outdoor Adventure Center as a substitute for rock climbing in the level plains of Nebraska.
One day freshman year, me and my friend decided to sign up for a class, and that's how we got into it.
Gergen is one of many students and individuals from across the Midwest to come to the center to climb.
This is one of the best gyms in the Midwest. I know people come here from other schools for competitions, so that's pretty cool. And then this place has also spurred some other climbing gyms.
Even though the Adventure Center is popular, there is nothing like climbing outdoors, which Gergen has done a couple of times.
My first time was actually through a trip here at the university. That was really fun, and it got me into wanting to climb outdoors more.
Not only is climbing great for exercise, but it's also a mental challenge. Deciding which rock to grab onto and which one to put your foot on, all while maintaining balance and core strength.
I'd say probably the mindset you can get into it while you're climbing. It's still exercise, but you don't really think about that. It's very fun to kind of solve a problem on the route. It's almost like a puzzle.
Rock climbing in the rural plains of Nebraska doesn't quite make sense. But UNL seems determined to keep rock climbing alive. Braden Selk, Nebraska Nightly.
Coming up next.
Senior Day for the #1 softball team in the country.
And a look at Husker Baseball's upcoming series of games.
Stick with us.
Husker students struggle with food insecurity. Husker Pantry addresses food insecurity and a welcoming space by providing free food and personal items to UNL students in need. Due to high demand, the pantry often runs out of essential items. Help keep the pantry stocked by donating the most needed items. From canned food to personal items and cleaning supplies, you can make a difference by donating. Learn how to donate by visiting pantry.unl.edu.
Stops. And at the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, your blood could help save lives. Right now, only 7% of the population donates blood, but imagine if there were more.
We're sitting at below a 7-day level of supply of all blood types across the board. So every blood type is important, and we need all donors of all types to come in and donate right now.
At the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, they believe that all types make a strong blood supply.
I really don't have the right words, but I'll try to give them to you.
When asked about what this year's seniors have meant to the program, Nebraska softball head coach Rhonda Ravel was taken over by emotion. Huskers softball plays in their final regular season series at Bullen Stadium this weekend in a border battle against the Iowa Hawkeyes. 12 Huskers will be honored tomorrow for Senior Day as their collegiate softball career closes at the end of the season. Ravel said she will forever be proud of how this group of seniors represented Nebraska.
The way they have represented this program, this community, this university, this athletic department has been impeccable.
This senior class has led the Huskers to a historic season to this point. Nebraska sits atop the Big Ten standings and are ranked 4th in the nation by USA Softball. Although Ravel and all the players know Saturday will be emotional, they understand the importance of taking the game one pitch at a time, as they have all season, to take down the rival Hawkeyes. Game 1 of today's doubleheader is already wrapped up. Nebraska coming out on top, 10-1. First pitch of Game 2 is scheduled for 5:30 tonight, and tomorrow, Game 3 will get underway at 1 o'clock. Nebraska baseball is on the road for the second time this week as they travel to Illinois for another Big Ten series. The 20th ranked Huskers dropped a game to number 16 Kansas in Lawrence on Tuesday, losing 7-9. Nebraska will look to regroup and win back-to-back conference series after sweeping USC last weekend. Nebraska sits second in the Big Ten with an overall record of 31-10, and Illinois, currently 8th in the Big Ten, standing at 20-19. The all-time series between the two programs is up for grab this weekend. The Illini currently ahead 16-15. Huskers are off to their best start since 2008 when they opened up with a 32-8-1 record, and Illinois wraps up a 12-game homestand this weekend, their longest since 2017. First pitch of the series tonight is at 6 p.m. on Big Ten Plus. Softball and baseball both on the diamond, but big news for Husker football is Memorial Stadium. Let's get some much-needed renovations.
Absolutely. It seems like there's already some kind of construction going on. Every time I go by Memorial, I've got to do a little detour, so we might have to get used to that.
Yes, but the renovations will be much worth it in the end.
Definitely.
Coming up next.
Our local youth basketball organization is helping aspiring athletes across Nebraska.
And a final look at this weekend's weather forecast.
Stick with us.
Many of the brands you love don't love animals like you do. Look at the labels of products you use for a bunny logo signifying they don't lab test on animals. Check the label for those who aren't able. Start making the shift by visiting crueltyfreekitty.com today.
Supreme is hosting their first Supreme Dreams Gala on May 3rd.
This event will host guest speakers including 2 UNL basketball players, Cale Jacobson and Braden Frigger. The gala's goal is to raise for kids in the organization. The organization gives an outlet to young athletes across the state.
Well, so teams that travel around the nation and in the Midwest playing those top teams. So getting kids to love basketball, getting them to experience what a practice is like, what a game like, to not only prepare them for the high school level, but to prepare them from the college level as well.
For more information on Supreme Dreams Gala, visit their website at www.supremebasketball.com.
Spring seems to be in full bloom.
But is Nebraska's unpredictable weather going to find its way in? Owen?
Well, we start off this weekend absolutely beautiful here in Lincoln, 68 degrees and sunny for our Friday evening. But as we go throughout the weekend, it seems like April is going to go out with a bang. We got thunderstorm chances coming in Saturday and Sunday. As the temperatures get up into the 70s, may see some disruptions if you have any outdoor plans this weekend. And it's a busy Husker weekend. I don't know if you guys have anything planned this weekend. I know you mentioned Husker softball in town.
Husker softball already won game 1 of the series against Iowa. Senior day tomorrow. It's going to be a fun weekend there.
And I did have some weekend plans. I was going to go see some family in Iowa, so I'm hoping that bad weather doesn't carry over east. But it does sound like we will have some action here this weekend in Lincoln.
Yes, we have the Zach Bryan concert outside at Memorial Stadium, so hopefully it's not too rainy for that.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to Nebraska Nightly.
Be sure to follow us on social media at Nebraska Nightly.
Our next live show is Tuesday at 4:50 p.m.
Have a great night.
Nebraska Nightly is a production of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's College of Journalism and Mass Communications.